Hey guys, this is Dr. Justin. I'm here with the Millpond Integrative Health and Wellness crew, Dr. Shannyn, Dr. Don Miller, and today
talking about the thyroid-adrenal connection. So all week long we're talking about adrenals, which is a very misused term by a lot of people and very misunderstood by a lot of doctors, and it's probably one of the big key pieces you're missing in your health. So today we want to teach you how your adrenals and your thyroid are connected, and I would even be so bold to say if you have a thyroid problem, it's probably not your thyroid, it's probably your adrenal gland. So we want to teach you today why that is.
But if you have a thyroid problem, you probably have a TSH problem, so therefore it's just a lack of Synthroid.
Right. And that's supposed to fix everything. So
Take
picture this. You are fatigued, you're having a hard time losing weight, your skin is dry, your mood isn't so great. You go into your doctor and they probably run a few very simple blood tests. So they're going to run your glucose and your insulin, they're going to run your TSH and maybe your T4. And that's about it, and it's going to come back, and your TSH is probably elevated, I'll give you that, and your T4 might be a little bit low, that's true, but they don't check anything else. They see that, and they say, oh, we have your answer, it's your thyroid, here's your Synthroid or your levothyroxine for the rest of your life, and this is going to cure everything. And how many times do they leave and they're really cured of everything?
Yep.
So rarely. These women are going in and they're getting put on Synthroid, and the most common thing I hear is, I don't really feel any different before and after taking my medication. Like, I thought this was going to be the magic bullet that was going to make everything better, and it didn't. And the number one reason that's happening is because they never checked your adrenal glands.
And then over the years, they make you feel like it's all in your head, it's all crazy. So now these women are getting put on antidepressants and all these crazy drugs to cover up the symptoms of all these underlying issues that aren't tested for properly.
Absolutely.
You guys hear us talk about stress all the time, so you're going to learn that stress can even affect your thyroid function. It's amazing.
Hugely. And I think the biggest kind of thing that we do wrong in medicine is you get a diagnosis and you think that's where the buck stops. So they finally tell you, we figured you out, you have hypothyroid, here's your medication, and that's the end of what you need to do. That's just the beginning. As soon as you get diagnosed with anything, your brain should automatically go to why, how did this start, and what can I do on my end to fix whatever created this so I'm not dependent on medication the rest of my life. So don't just get a diagnosis and think that's the end. Start looking for what else needs to change to get that fixed.
Yeah, and Dr. Shannyn, she is an outstanding, literally thyroid specialist. She's written books on it. And, the more that even I study thyroid, because the more you study the body, sometimes the more you figure out what you don't know.
Yeah.
And the thyroid is it's impacted by so many different things. And so when you're tested very briefly the way you're tested, you are just missing the boat. I mean, it is crazy. And once we start talking more about how adrenal glands can affect thyroid function, you're going to see, you've got to dig deep.
You have to.
The labs don't tell you anything. And even when the labs are normal and you're having hypothyroid symptoms, it's stress affecting thyroid. It's affecting how the body is using the hormones. So dive into that a little bit, Doc.
Yeah, so I tell every patient who comes to see me for thyroid, if you're sitting there with a thyroid issue, a low-functioning thyroid, Hashimoto's, Graves' disease, no matter what it is, that's not the first thing that's happened. That's probably your tertiary problem. A couple of other things have had to happen before you get to the point that you have an under-functioning thyroid. That's not the first gland in our body to go. There has to be stress. There has to be something blocking it. There has to be a hormone imbalance. There has to be something going on with the adrenals or the immune system before your thyroid's even going to respond like that. So I think in society, thyroid's such a buzzword and everyone thinks it's their thyroid, when 95% of the time, it probably isn't primarily your thyroid. Now, I'm not saying your thyroid's not under functioning or there's not something going on there, but something else is creating that. So especially with adrenal function, which is what we're going to talk about today, and then on Friday we're going to talk about hormones and sugar regulation as far as it goes with adrenal glands as well. But today with adrenals and thyroid, your adrenal glands and your thyroid run on the same axis. That's called your HPA axis. And it's that loop together that really keeps everything running smoothly. So it's your pituitary to your thyroid to your adrenal glands back up again that has to keep that constant communication. So if you have a breakdown anywhere in that loop, and there's so many factors that can contribute to that, you're going to have symptoms in those areas. You're going to have thyroid symptoms, but it's a breakdown somewhere in that loop. And adrenals is the most common thing that could be creating that. So your adrenal glands have a lot of different jobs when it comes specifically to thyroid function. One of the major things your adrenal glands do is release cortisol, right? So you've probably heard, if you've researched anything about natural kind of treatments for thyroid, that cortisol isn't good for your thyroid. Well, let's explain to you exactly why that is.
And so again, guys, when you get stressed, your cortisol levels usually are going to go up and they're going to stay up,
Yep.
right? You're out running 20-mile marathons, your cortisol levels are going to go up and they're going to stay up, right? So this stress is going to impact how your body utilizes your thyroid hormones. So again, the way you're being tested, you can have normal TSH, you can have normal thyroid levels or your hormone levels, but if your body can't utilize that hormone properly or bind them to your cells so you can use them, you're going to have the same symptoms as if you have a low-functioning thyroid.
Absolutely. And with cortisol, here's the thing that a lot of people don't realize. Your medical doctor is going to test you for TSH and T4. Well, TSH is a pituitary hormone, and T4, which is your synthetic version of Synthroid or levothyroxine, that's just a storage hormone. That's not our active hormone that gives us energy, lets our hair grow, lets our skin look good, stabilizes our mood. It's a storage hormone. And in your body, T4 needs to be converted to T3 for you to get the active results that you're looking for. So even if you're on Synthroid or levothyroxine, you're getting synthetic T4, your body still needs to convert that form of T4 to T3 to be usable. Okay. Now what happens, and there's several reasons this can happen, but one of the main ones is when you have a lot of stress, mental stress, physical stress, when you have a lot of things going on in life and your cortisol is elevated. Cortisol is excitatory, so it speeds things up, the same function that T3 does, because T3 gives you energy and it speeds things up. Your body is brilliant. It knows that if you have too much T3 and too much cortisol at the same time, you're running the risk for stroke, you're running the risk for a heart attack, like that's a dangerous situation. So because you won't stop stressing out and you're not taking care of your adrenal glands, your cortisol's not budging, so your body does exactly the right thing. It stops the conversion of T4 to T3 so that you don't end up with a major health crisis. Yet, everyone wants to be on thyroid medication and you want to keep pushing that T4, you want to keep giving yourself more artificial thyroid hormone when you could really be putting your body in a lot of danger if your adrenals aren't working the way that they're supposed to.
And it's amazing, guys.
Well, and two, it's like you go to your doctor because you have all these symptoms and they just put you on this drug, and I can promise you that you are not fixed or healed by just getting on this temporary drug that you're going to be on for the rest of your life. Sometimes does it help with symptoms?
Sure.
Sure, drugs are great with that. Long term, though, it is not the answer. So just because you went to your doctor and you got healed by being on a drug, you're still not fixed. So you stop taking the drug. The thing is, the symptoms and the problems are still there, and the symptoms come back, and you're just as sick, if not sicker, than you were before you got on the drug.
And with that, like, the drugs are good at normalizing the basic lab testing that they're running because, see, even though T3 is the active hormone that your body uses, the T4 is really what helps to regulate your TSH release.
Right.
So you're getting T4 hormones synthetically through a drug, you're not converting them to the active hormone, but yet that T4 goes back up and tells your brain, we've got enough hormones, so that brings that TSH down. See, they're diagnosing you with a thyroid problem using a brain hormone.
Right.
Unbelievable.
And the crazy thing is they test what they know they can manipulate with the medication. So they test those values on purpose because a lot of times if they were to look at your T3 and your reverse T3 and your antibodies, they'd be at a loss because the medication wouldn't be as effective as it is just looking at those two markers. But this is the classic situation. If you are the person who has gone in, got on thyroid medication, your TSH and your T4 are spot on, and you still feel horrible, that's more likely a conversion issue. You have no idea if your body's converting that into the active form. So next time you go in, demand that they test your free T3 and your reverse T3. Because the other thing cortisol does with your thyroid is it can actually alter how your body converts. Like we said, you don't want a lot of T3, so sometimes it will just shut down that conversion, and sometimes it will shunt it down a second pathway. So your T4 has a choice. It can convert to T3 or reverse T3. So where T3 is like the energy, it's the gas, it's the one that makes you feel great, reverse T3 is the brakes. It's the one that says, all right, slow down all body function, something big's going on, we can't have any more of this, and a lot of stress and cortisol will accelerate that reverse T3 pathway. So again, you get your labs are never testing for reverse T3, T4 is great, your TSH is awesome, they might even tell you your T3 is a little bit low, and their answer will be they want to up your medications. But if they don't look at your reverse T3, they have no idea that all that medication is getting put down the pathway that puts the brakes on your body, and you're going to spiral. That's how you get adrenal fatigue and chronic pain and autoimmune conditions, because you just beat your body up for years trying to move a lab number.
So you guys can see with as complex as thyroid function is and how many other organ systems and environmental factors impact thyroid function, there's no way a drug can fix 95%. Again, like Doc said, if it's primary hypothyroidism, if it is truly a thyroid problem and you just can't make the hormones, Sometimes there's a need
Sure.
for hormones. But again, and you know, it fires me up when patients say, well, I'm going to go to an endocrinologist because my GP's just not testing me properly. Mm-hmm. Guys, they use the same testing. Yeah. And really, they're not going to use the type of testing that we use because it's not going to change their course of treatment.
Nothing.
They don't have the tools that if it's a Hashimoto's or an adrenal issue or a stress issue, I mean, they don't have the tools to address those issues.
Not at all.
So why test for it?
Yep. So when you're looking at full care of a thyroid issue, the three things that I think it should literally be malpractice if they're not looking at these things at the same time with you. Yes, check your adrenal numbers, but check all of them. Check your TSH, your T4, your free T3, check your antibodies, your reverse T3, check your vitamin D and your ferritin, which have a lot to do with how you convert your thyroid hormone as well. You've got to get a complete panel, but you absolutely have to look at hormone balance and adrenal glands in combination with thyroid, or you're never going to really get to full recovery and get everything taken care of permanently. Can you feel better for a little bit of time? Sure. But I want you to be able to have those like long-standing results that everybody's looking for. Yeah,
and again, because like immune system affects adrenals.
Hugely.
Big time, right? And so, you know, people come in here for thyroid issues, like, okay, we're going to run a stool test on you. Like, why are you going to look at my poop for my thyroid function, right? But immune issues, infections, viral stuff going on, it's going to affect how your adrenal glands are functioning, which in turn is going to affect your thyroid function. So,
and your healthy microbiome, having good gut bacteria, is the second primary place that your body converts T4 to T3. So you need to have that good, healthy gut. There's so many other places you have to look. And again, like Doc mentioned, like just one medication can't replace all of those things going on in your body. So don't think that that's your only answer. There's many, many other things that you can do to get your body back in check. And it always starts with proper testing. People are suffering because of the lack of testing and a lack of investigation. That's the first place you need to start.
Yeah. And like what we do is so different again because of the testing. So if you're sitting there and you're struggling and you're on thyroid medication, they're shutting you up with Synthroid or depression meds or whatever it may be, just telling you that it's in your head, just reach out, get tested properly. Let's find out what's going on. Let's find out the underlying issues and really the true causes of what's going on or what's not going on properly. That's how we're able to get such great results. Are we the best? Maybe, maybe not. I would say we're pretty damn close to it.
It's not that we're the best. It's that
the
we
testing
love this.
and what we do, and we just know how to test. So when we get the results back, we're not guessing at what is wrong or what to do. We know exactly what to do because we know what your physiology says. It's all about proper testing. So
make sure you have the best testing.
We do
have the best tools.
Yes,
okay.
Absolutely.
So and
not just a
CMP,
not just a CBC. Well, I go to my doctor once a year. I get my physical every single year. I understand that, and everything is totally fine until guess when? Until you full-blown cancer and you're dead all of a sudden out of nowhere. Those tests tell you nothing. So again, guys, if you're struggling with those issues, reach out to us. We'd love to help you. We'd love to help you get it tested. Reach out to a Wellness Way clinic next to you that's close to you. But if there's nothing close to you, just reach out to us. We'd love to take care of you. And again, today is Wednesday, right? Mm-hmm. And so we have it open until 9 o'clock tonight that you can ask questions. Ask them. The link will be posted in the comments down below. So you're going to ask the questions that you want answered. It doesn't necessarily have to be on thyroid. It can be thyroid and autoimmune or gut or health or exercise or medications or whatever it may be. And on Friday, we take the time and we actually answer the questions that you want to know about. It will also give us an idea of what to talk about in the later weeks whenever we know what you guys are wanting. So make sure that you comment below. Yes, I need help. Yes, I need testing. Tag somebody who has these problems, who is struggling with it. Make sure you like our page and make sure you definitely share this. And don't forget to ask questions. Thanks for tuning in.